Namaste guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Gary and this is the Intrepid Traveller. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to plan your dream trip to India, and for that matter anybody else. This is a common question and a common problem that seems to arise for people, is they have an intention of going somewhere and maybe you've been before or this is your first time or whatever the case is, and it can seem very daunting, and understandably so. Ironically, this is going to be one of my shorter videos because it really is only 5 short steps to planning your dream trip, and it works no matter where in the world it is that you decide to go, and it really is that simple. So without further ado, let's get started. Step 1. How much time can you dedicate to your trip? Now, it seems obvious that the longer that you can stay away, the more it is that you will be able to see. Well, that is true, but not all of us can dedicate years of our lives to wandering the earth. You know, many of us have responsibilities. You might have a family, you might have a mortgage, you might have a career, you might have your favourite pet hamster that you just can't stay away from. We all have ties, and very, very few of us can just travel forever, you know. And so you're dealing with a finite amount of time. Just to think to yourself, how much is that time? Now, no amount of time is too small. Even in a weekend in India, you will be able to see something of value. I have a post dedicated to that. It's called "How Long Should I Go Backpacking to India?" I'll leave that in the link below, and that will give you an insight into some ideas of routes of what could you get for your time. This video isn't about that. So recap, the first step is to decide how long can you spare. Step 2, decide what is it that you want to see. Now, this is by far the most difficult step, and I recommend you take some time, you sit on the end of your bed and you put some thought into it. What is it that you actually want to see? Because India is a very vast country. It's a whole subcontinent, and each state can feel like you're crossing a border into another country. For example, if you was to go to Ladakh, it has absolutely no similarity past using the rupee to Kerala or Rajasthan. So you think about what it is that you want to see, and if you're not sure what's there, then use guidebooks or watch some documentaries or listen to what other people say who may or may not have been there, and then you can sort of draw up your own conclusions. And once you get past this really is the most difficult time, because this will make the difference between you getting the most out of your money and your time and not. So do put some thought into this particular step. Step 3, book your flights. Couldn't be more simple than that. Have a look around for the best carrier for you. I rate Sky Scanners, and I also used to use SDA Travel, but as many of you know, they went into liquidation during the global pandemic, which really emphasises the mess that happened to me in my mind, because I travel so much and SDA Travel was such a huge company. So that was a big shock for me, to be honest. So Sky Scanners it is then. Also anticipate any internal flights, so then you've got no nasty surprises in your budget. That's very handy. And I will also say that not all destinations are equal in terms of cost when you fly to India. Some are insanely cheaper than others. Delhi, Chennai, Calcutta, Mumbai, these 4 hubs will be your best bet to get the best deals. Some of them can cost a hell of a lot more. So have a look around and see what works for you. It depends. You might have to fly, if you're traveling to the northeast, you might have to fly to Guwahati, and Guwahati is quite a lot more to fly to, because you have to fly to Calcutta and then connect most of the time. So, but anyway, have a look around, and that is step 3. Simple as that. Step 4, arrange your visas. Now, if you're going to travel for a longer length of time, you've got to do this online. And for me, that is like quantum physics, because I'm terrible at computers and the online application really isn't that simple. And there's quite a lot of things for you to consider. If you do have to apply online, again, I have a post for that. I will leave that in the link in the description below. But if you are traveling for a month or a little bit longer, I can't remember the exact amount of time, you can apply for a visa on arrival. I've never used this service. I've been to airports and I've seen the visa on arrival service and it looks like mayhem. I am very glad to book for my visa in advance, but I don't travel for a couple of weeks or something like that. I think you still fill in the online application and then you arrive. Whatever the case is, arrange your visas and then the timer starts. Step 5, go shopping. And while I made this step 5, I will suggest to people, if they want something like a camera, an expensive camera, or they want a expensive pair of North Face shoes, or whatever it is they feel like they're going to need for the trip, because everybody's got different demands, I suggest that you buy that as far before as possible, for 2 reasons. One, if you leave everything for the last minute, it's going to be insanely stressful, because like I said, the timer has started. You booked your flights, you booked your visas. And the second reason is that bill's going to be massive and you're really going to notice it. You know, it's better to take a little bit of poison every day, isn't it, rather than take it all at once. So, but other things like toiletries, you wait till the last minute. You don't really need a fabulous amount of things. Sometimes I recommend that you take things from home. While you can buy toothpaste, toothbrush and all the rest of that easily in India, some things you really can't. And if you feel like it's more of a specialist brand, buy that before you go. For example, I'm ginger, so I've cursed ginger people. They have to have sensitive scalp. You know, I want to talk to God about that when I get up there. But that means I have to use a brand of shampoo called T-Gel. That works for me. And there is absolutely no chance of me buying that in India. So I have to stock up on that and take 2 big bottles for my trip and then use it sparingly, because you're not going to get anything like that. So if you feel like whatever it is that you might be accustomed to or you might need in your own country and you feel like it's a specialist product, do buy that. Medicines as well. Medicines are readily available. I've got a post for that as well. What should you put in your first aid kit? You don't need to cram it out and be prepared for every event in the world. Some things, if you feel like they might be specialist, make sure you take them before you take off. And aside from that, everything else is you can buy along the way. If you're unsure about what it is that you should be putting in your rucksack, I have a whole ebook you can download, and while you don't have to follow it word for word, because everybody's trip is different, everybody's specifications is different, maybe you're not going somewhere cold, it does work out as a good baseline for what it is that I put in my rucksacks for when I leave. And it's a good idea to read blogs and watch videos from other travellers who are experienced if you've never done it before. You know, I think that's the same in anything that you do. And that's it, guys. That is as simple as that. 5 easy steps. You don't need to stress yourself out more than that. Step 2, as I said, is the most difficult. Decide what it is that you really want, and then after that is smooth sailing. All you've got to do now is go to the airport and get on an aeroplane and then start your adventure. So this is a system that you can refer to again and again. It doesn't matter where you're going. If it's Morocco or you're going to London or anywhere else, same system. Plan, 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 plan. Don't listen to anyone who says you don't need a plan. That is the dumbest idea in the world. And trust me, I've been backpacking a long time. I've been traveling a long time. I can tell you that, as romantic as that sounds, it's just not good. It's not a good strategy. So with that said, it's not possible for me to stretch this video out any longer, because there's nothing else to say about it. It really is that simple. If you liked my video, please like and subscribe, and if you have any questions regarding this or anything else to do with Indian travel, then feel free to leave your questions in below and I will get back to you. And with that said, enjoy your day and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.